Hey Vikings Nation, what's up? Take a deep breath and let this sink in for a second, because the first and the very last points of the 2025 Minnesota Vikings season came off the same right leg. Yeah, that leg belongs to Reichard, and this story couldn't be scripted any better. Before we dive deep, here's the teaser you need to hear. A young kicker, drafted late, turns into one of the most reliable weapons in the entire NFL. Not just solid, not just good, all-pro good. So stay with me, because what will Reichard, Andrew DePaula, and this special teams unit did in 2025 deserves your full attention, Vikings fans. Will Reichard didn't just score points in 2025, he defined moments. From the opening weeks to the final whistle, his foot became a constant source of belief for the Minnesota Vikings and for all of us watching every snap. Being named first-team All-Pro by the Associated Press isn't just a cool title. It means you were the best at your position in the entire league. No debates, no excuses, just dominance. And let's not ignore the timing. Reichard gets this honor right after turning 25 and right after being named NFC Special Teams Player of the Month for December and January. That's not coincidence, that's momentum. When you look at Vikings history, this makes it even sweeter. Will Reichard is only the third kicker in franchise history to earn first-team All-Pro honors, joining Blair Walsh in 2012 and the legendary Gary Anderson in 1998. Think about that for a second. Decades of football, countless kickers, and Reichard already has his name etched next to some of the biggest specialists this team has ever seen. For a franchise that knows both the joy and heartbreak of kicking moments, having this level of excellence feels personal. Vikings fans know exactly why this matters so much. Now let's talk numbers, because the stats back up every bit of the hype. Reichard went 33 for 35 on field goals and a perfect 31 for 31 on extra points during the season. That kind of consistency is rare, especially in pressure situations, cold weather, and hostile stadiums. Every time he lined up, confidence followed. And this wasn't just about short, safe kicks. Reichard was money from distance, and that changed how defenses played the Minnesota Vikings. Week after week, Reichard delivered in clutch spots. He helped spark the comeback win in Chicago in Week 1 by scoring the first 6 points of the game. Then came that monster moment in Week 3 against Cincinnati, a team-record 62-yard field goal right before halftime. That wasn't just points, that was a statement. From that moment on, the league knew this wasn't a fluke. Will Reichard had real, game-changing range. Lambeau Field has humbled plenty of kickers, but not Reichard. In Week 12, he drilled a 59-yard field goal, the second longest in the history of that stadium. He followed that up with huge kicks against Dallas in Week 15, including a 53-yarder that practically slammed the door on the Cowboys' playoff hopes. And in brutal weather against the Giants, cold winds swirling, he calmly knocked through 3 field goals like it was nothing. To close out the season, Reichard went on an unreal run, hitting 19 consecutive field goals. That's the kind of streak that turns respect into fear across the league. No kicker in the NFL had more field goals from 50-plus yards in 2025. Reichard tied the league lead with 11, rewriting Vikings record books in the process. He broke Blair Walsh's franchise record and did it with style, power, and precision. Accuracy matters just as much as range, and Reichard delivered there too. He finished at 94.3%, third best among qualifying kickers in the entire NFL. Only Nick Folk and Eddie Pinheiro were slightly ahead, and both of them had fewer total attempts. That puts Reichard firmly in elite territory. And let's be honest, this doesn't happen alone. Every great kicker needs a great operation, and Andrew DePaula was right at the center of it. DePaula earned second-team All-Pro honors, marking his 4th straight season being recognized as one of the best long snappers in football. That kind of consistency is insane. Snap after snap, clean, fast, and perfect. That's how championships are built, even if they don't always make highlights. DePaula has now stacked multiple first- and second-team All-Pro selections, quietly building one of the most impressive resumes at his position. The chemistry between Reichard, DePaula, and holder Ryan Wright was elite. Timing, communication, trust, everything was dialed in. Reichard didn't miss a single kick under 50 yards all season. His only 2 misses came from beyond 50, and one of those had some serious weirdness involved. Many believe that London miss in Week 5 actually hit a Skycam wire mid-flight. That's how rare and strange it was. Even with that, his efficiency remained near the top of the league, proving just how locked in he was every single week. Special teams coordinator Matt Daniels couldn't stop praising him, and honestly, neither can we. Daniels talked about how Reichard always delivered when the team needed him most. Whether it was putting the Vikings up by 3 late or stretching the lead to another possession, Reichard consistently capitalized on big moments. 4 field goals in the final 2 minutes since 2024 tells you everything about his nerves. Ice cold. No fear. Daniels also highlighted how Reichard communicates, how direct and detailed he is with Ryan Wright and Andrew DePaula. That level of professionalism at such a young age is rare. This isn't just talent, this is preparation and mindset. Will the Thrill isn't just a nickname anymore. It's a reputation he's earned across the NFL. Head coach Kevin O'Connell echoed that confidence loud and clear as the season wrapped up. His belief in Reichard couldn't be higher. When a coach says you can basically lock in 3 points, that changes how you call games, how you manage the clock, and how aggressive you can be. That trust is priceless, and Reichard earned every ounce of it with his performance. At just 25 years old, Reichard became the youngest first-team All-Pro kicker since Jason Sanders in 2020. Only 12 kickers aged 25 or younger have ever earned that honor, and now a Minnesota Viking is on that list. In just 30 games, Reichard is already 57 for 65 on field goals and perfect on 69 extra points. That's an incredible start to a career. Andrew DePaula also deserves his flowers. Even without a Pro Bowl nod this year, All-Pro recognition is pure respect based on performance alone. As a team captain for the 2nd straight season, he anchored one of the most reliable specialist units in the league. This group brought stability, confidence, and hidden yardage all year long. And don't forget Ryan Wright. After DePaula's snaps, he tied for 5th in gross punting average and ranked 3rd in net average. He also launched the longest punt of the entire NFL season at 77 yards. Field position mattered, and the Vikings won that battle often. This was a complete special teams operation firing on all cylinders. So Vikings fans, what do you think? Is Will Reichard already the most trustworthy kicker this franchise has had in years? Does this special teams core give you more confidence going into the future of the Minnesota Vikings? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, subscribe for more Minnesota Vikings news, and share this with every Vikings fan you know. Skol forever.